Hey guys, so Solak has been out for a couple weeks now, and I wanted to go through one of my VODs for my stream, showing you how I use so little food. Maybe just highlighting some points and just going through my rotation basically. So let's go. Alright, start at the kill. Place Dominion Mines. Dominion Mines deal 10k damage each. They will insta-kill a root when it spawns, although it doesn't happen here, but sometimes it bugs out and only does 10k for some reason. I don't know why, but get the sunshine off. Instantly a Drem Pot to Asphyxiate and then Excalibur. Asphyxiate first just because it's easier to get to the green things if they're far away. In this case it wasn't, so it could just stand there. But it's really important to Excalibur right at the beginning, just so it's up for phase 2. Right here I'm gonna go for a tick res. You don't have to do that tick res, you can reflect if you don't feel comfortable with that. He does a melee hit, and the next tick you have to res the bomb. Yeah, but anyways, I go for a devotion here. I got an extension on that one vine, and I'm gonna get another extension here. So my devotion lasts 20 seconds. 20 seconds of no damage. You really don't need 20 seconds, but you know, obviously it's gonna help if you get the double extend. Most of the time I only get one extend, to be honest, but yeah. So right here, my res is off cooldown. I get a res after I kill my roots, and then he's gonna do his root things, and then I'm gonna Cade, set my partner, which you really don't need to do, but we just do it just because it's like safe, and it's annoying to deal with those roots. This whole time, I'm just like looking at my res cooldown, you know, DPS at this point, because there's not really a reason to like play defensively. And we're trying to get the phase to 2.25 for the phase 1 root skip. So yeah, my res is off cooldown. I go for a res here probably soon-ish. Here we go. There's a res. And then I devotion. It's important to devotion after the first bomb goes off because his attack speed increases. So, like the first bomb that the DPSer gets. And then we go into the arms. And nothing really important happens here. Obviously, you soul split your health back. We usually sunshine like right when the arms are about to die. And then on the legs, I guess I can mention that using detonate is really good. It damages both legs, so but you have to make sure that you get the full charge off, the 100%, or it won't hit. Like right there, I hit a 12k. So detonate's really good there. And then we just go into this. I guess not onslaughting is a good idea for core to save food, because then you're not really low HP when you're tanking, so you can just sunshine later. That works. Right here, I actually forget to turn melee prey on for like 3 attacks, I think, so kind of a derp, but you know, it didn't really matter because we got the phase. If you see his HP, it's 2.25, and if you get him to 2.25, his next spec, he'll go straight into the arms before the core. So yeah, we got that. If that didn't happen though, like you know, it's not really that big of a deal. You just gotta play a little more defensive, because if you're not gonna get the skip anyway, you might as well just play a little more defensive. Just, you know, resonance or like devotion, extend on the roots if you have to kill them again, and yeah. Alright, nothing special here, just sunshining again. And then we're gonna go into phase 2, which I think is where a lot of people are like using a lot of their food. And I'll try and highlight some things that might help with your food usage on phase 2. Kill the core. And we're off. Okay. So we start at southwest. We basically insta-kill it and then insta-cleanse. You can't click on her until she actually says whatever she says right there, and then we insta-kill it, insta-cleanse. I go for a res right here with the surge, res into surge, and then we go up top and I put my vigor on because I know when I drop I'm gonna Cade Sept. You don't really need a Sept, but you might as well Cade, honestly, unless you're going for speeds or something. Just conserve food. If your Excalibur's up at this point, I would probably use it. Mine wasn't up, so I didn't use it. I prep here to get my res up, and then I res here. And his attack, like if he attacks you on the ground and you go up, it still hits you. So you can res like on the ground and still get a res up top. I used my Excalibur here because it was like a little bit off, not off cooldown yet. So I get oh, I didn't get the devotion extend. I had devotion right here. You really should devotion on the other pillar that I was just on. I got the devotion extend here though. Like if you get a double devotion extend on both of these pillars, you really should be not using that much food. Then I guess right here I sunshine. I don't know. Sometimes the sunshine, honestly, you don't really need to because right now phase 2 is pretty much a tank phase. You really don't need to sunshine. You don't need a DPS at all. But I was just like really high on HP and I have res up and everything, so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna sunshine. And then let's see. Probably go for a res about now. I don't know. Past this point, honestly, it's really hard to use food. I mean, not hard, but like, you know, I feel like the main place people use food is that first part of phase 2. I K'd this first one. I K'd here, I Sept. Again, Septing is not really important, it's just kind of something that we do, just save supplies. So we K'd here. I reflect right here because the last one, unless you K'd direct, like right on time, it's gonna hit you. I switch to staff here just to get some soul split heals because you hit like really high on this at this point. Go up his arm, asphyxiate while I'm going up his arm for soul split heals. And then of course you res this. And then I usually devotion here. I don't know if I devotioned in this clip, but I did not. You don't have to devotion there. Sometimes I do. You might as well, really. There's no reason not to devotion right there. Just to save food, you know. Usually debilitate, reflect into shield dome right here because there's no reason DPS on this phase again, so just sit there for a little bit, let the spec go off. Make sure you're able to Cade though for the hurricane, obviously. And then resonance the first hit, and then Cade Sept, or Cade if you're not septing. And yeah. I'm gonna go for a preparation right when the barricade ends. Just to get my res back off cooldown, just so I can res again. So I prepped. Gonna res here. And then I'm gonna go into a reflect right here. Probably next hit. Did I not reflect? There we go. There's a reflect. A little late, but yeah. At this point, you can put your staff on, actually, and Wild Magic for a big soul split heal, but I didn't do it in this clip, because, like, as soon as the first bomb explodes, he's gonna go into roots. Right, I prepped again, res again. I mean, this is just, like, just tank. It's not really anything special, you know? I use Devotion at this point. Just do whatever to keep your HP high. He's actually already at HP cap. He's already at 1.2 mil for us, so like we don't really need to worry about that, honestly. Then for this one, I usually reflect, debilitate, and then build back to barricade and barricade, because the barricade won't be off cooldown. at the beginning. Like the first 2 hits usually I take, and then I barricade. And then he goes into bombs. Usually res the first hit, and then do whatever to build back to 100, and then use immortality. So I immorted. I'm just gonna... I'm not sure exactly what I do in this clip. Probably should have looked first. Okay, I just died with immort just to get the heal. Then I probably res at some point. There's the res. And prep. In case I can get my res off again. I definitely can't. So, but yeah, just play everything defensively on this phase, honestly, and it'll be fine. And then for this one, I debilitate, reflect, shield dome again, just like the one before the tornado. The gold shield before the tornado. Do the same thing. I actually ate like a sailfish and a jellyfish here. Be safe because I didn't feel like, you know, dying to being greedy. And yeah, you get another res here. We're off to phase 3. Phase 3 is kind of... Honestly, most of your healing comes from Soul Split on phase 3. I mean, you can play it defensively. If you really want to, you can just camp a shield and let your DPS do all the work. If your DPS just stuns on cooldown, and you're going around the whole thing and not killing the guy in the mind, then yeah, you should be fine, really. But I think here, most of the time I do like a 1 meta at least at the beginning, just to make it easier for the DPS. Get big soul split heals when he's freaking out like that after you phase the rune. And occasionally take a res, occasionally devotion. You know, this phase is not very hard to keep your food up, as long as you, you know, stun him at the right time after he stuns you, and yeah, I mean, just soul splitting, resonance, preparation, all your defenses. Just use your defensives. You can even K it if you really want to, honestly. This phase is just like, you really shouldn't use any food here. I like speed this up a little bit because this is really just rinse and repeat. You really don't do anything. We're on like the 3rd to last rune. Still just, you know, soul split healing. Probably go for like a res or something here. Okay. Yeah, there's a res. One thing I will mention is, do not use devotion on the last rune because, well, assuming you're the guy in the Shadow Realm or the Mind or whatever you want to call it, because it will not be off cooldown when you go in there, and obviously that's not a good thing. So yeah, guess I should mention that. I usually go for a res and then reflect and debilitate here and then build back to 100. Just kind of healthy. You don't need to be 100% HP when you go into P4 because you get a lot of soul split heals from your meta rotation, assuming you're the mind guy. So I'm like 7.2 here, and I probably full heal here just from soul split with my meta. Net instinct into meta. I mean, at this point, you can use Excalibur in the mind if you really feel like you need to, or maybe even before the mind. But I stopped doing that because I like using my Excalibur on phase 1. It just makes the most sense, and I don't really need Excalibur here. So I did my rotation. I go in, Coroming switch into reflect after my chain, and put them on me. Aggro them all. Devotion, and switch to my vigor, just in case. Because if I barricade and Solak is high HP still, I want to be able to A-pot to a more, and I think in order to do that, you need to bigger, just Savage ran. And he's dead. I used 2 2/3 of a jellyfish and a sailfish. Honestly, there's a lot of kills where I just don't even use food. It's just, obviously it's not ideal to go for every kill, no food kill. And then, especially next week, next Monday, we're getting a change to P2 to make it, make P2 a little more DPS related, basically. Make it less of a tanky phase like it is right now. Like right now you can literally just camp shield the whole phase 2 and it'll be fine. As the tank at least. But yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions regarding my rotations or whatever. So thanks for watching. See ya.